Hello everybody, welcome to Chinese Pod. I'm Joy.
Hi everyone, I'm Josh. 欢迎回到中文播客。
Today we're going to talk about the animal pig in the Chinese context. Now in English we can say you're lazy as a pig, or it could be describing somebody whose house is very dirty, like a pigsty. What about in Chinese culture?
在中文也是一样的，你可以形容一个人懒惰的像一只猪，或者是形容一个人的房间肮脏的像只猪窝一样。
Okay, so we have the exact same words. What are some other ideas we have that's related to pigs?
有时候它是一件好的事情，
Oh.
比如说，因为猪看起来笨笨的、呆呆的，所以我们会说猪是老实的，或者是温和的。
Okay, so they might look like they're not too bright, but at least they're honest, or they're quite tender. Maybe they're not aggressive. That's what we usually think. I also can think of another one. We have the piggy bank.
没错，就是小猪铺满。
Okay, so that symbolizes like good luck and fortune, right?
财富的意思。
Okay, so today we're going to talk about some idioms related to pigs. Let's check them out right now.
我们来看看第一个谚语：人怕出名，猪怕肥。所以这是两个句子，人怕出名，猪怕肥。那出名就是变得比较有名一点。那为什么人怕出名呢？
Okay, so if a person is famous, then there could be a lot of problems. Lack of privacy, people gossiping about them, like spreading around bad news. So I guess that's why people are afraid to be famous in this sentence. Now, when the first one leads to the second one, is that a comparison?
是，应该是说就像猪怕肥一样。
Okay, so it's saying it's a similarity. But why are pigs afraid to be fat? Aren't they already fat?
猪很肥的时候就会被杀来吃啊。
Okay, so it's a bad thing because once they're fat enough, they're going to be slaughtered.
所以人怕出名，猪怕肥，意思就是人出了名就会招来很多麻烦，就像猪肥的时候就会被杀来吃。
So two bad situations, basically. Do you have a real life situation? I feel like we need to talk about some celebrities or politicians or something.
我们可以用这句话“人怕出名，猪怕肥”拿来形容公众人物。所以在中国有一些公众人物喜欢开名车、戴名表或是住豪宅，这样的行为我们称作炫富。
Oh, so you're basically showing off your wealth by driving a nice car or you're wearing a nice watch. I think it depends on the context, but I know that in China, when that happens, then people start to 人肉搜索. That's basically your human flesh search, or they're trying to Google to see if you embezzled or something, and it's probably bad news. Do you have another example?
可以拿来告诫一个人，比如说人怕出名，猪怕肥，做事这么张扬，一定会有麻烦。
So it's a warning to people to be low-key, otherwise you might get into some kind of trouble.
我们来看看第二个句子，扮猪吃老虎。所以扮是装扮装成的意思，装成猪，然后吃老虎。
Wait, I have a question. Why are we pretending to be a pig to eat the tiger?
所以其实扮猪吃老虎，后面这个是猎人。
So there's a hunter. Now, in Chinese, you'll notice often that there is no subject in the sentence. This is a hidden subject. So the person doing 扮猪, the action, and 吃老虎, these are the same subject, which is the hunter. Okay, what does this sentence actually mean?
所以这个猎人假扮成猪，想要假扮成一个弱小的猪，让老虎来吃。结果老虎靠近了之后，猎人把它抓起来吃掉了。
Oh, so the story is that the hunter is actually hunting the tiger, but pretending to be weak or not really able, like a small pig. Interesting.
其实有一个句子跟这句扮猪吃老虎很像。
Oh, yes, I know. That's 披着羊皮的狼 That's a wolf covered in sheep's clothing. And we actually talked about this in another episode, the one about the sheep.
所以扮猪吃老虎，你有在日常生活中遇到这种事情吗？
This reminds me of a type of girl that I used to see back in school. And she was very smart. In the morning, she would ask a guy to buy her breakfast. In the afternoon, someone would deliver her lunch. And then after school, someone would take her home. And she always just pretended, like, I can't really do this stuff by myself, help me. And then we find out that she ends up with a bunch of boyfriends, but no one knew until the end.
所以这种女生就是扮猪吃老虎，装笨装傻，到最后让所有的男生都想来帮助她。
Yeah, I did not like that kind of girl.
最后她就被养肥，真的变成猪了。
Probably, this is possible. So, is there another situation that you've encountered which can apply to this idiom?
有啊，以前在学校读书的时候，特别在考试之前，一定有一位同学总是说啊，这次考试好简单呀，不用读，不用读。
Oh, and he studies the most, right?
对，他每一次都这样说，但是考试其实很难，结果大家都没读，到最后他拿了第一名。这种人就是扮猪吃老虎。
Yeah, and this reminds me of another phrase. We can say 心机重。这种人心机很重。
没错，我们也可以这样说。
It's like you're very cunning or crafty. So that girl, those girls, and that boy in your class 心机很重。
或是扮猪吃老虎。我们来看看第三个谚语：没吃过猪肉，也见过猪跑。在以前的中国农村社会中，古人都有很多的常识，比如说太阳什么时候升起，怎么种稻，或者是风什么时候开始吹。所以他们可以这样说：没吃过猪肉，也见过猪跑。
So they have a lot of basic common sense.
是啊，但在现实生活中，你可以这样说吗？你看过猪跑吗？
Never. I've only seen them sleeping.
所以你可以说没见过猪跑，也吃过猪肉。
Okay, so it's basically saying you've never seen this, but you should have some common sense. All right, so we have two separate idiom examples. Let's have some actual real life applications.
所以这一句话你可以拿来形容一个人有常识。比如说在面试的时候，你可能对营销有一些常识，所以你可以说，虽然我没吃过猪肉，但见过猪跑。营销的工作我没做过，但是我至少懂一些。
So I've never really actually had this marketing job, but I know a little about it based on common sense. Okay, so what about the second example where you're telling somebody that they're supposed to have common sense?
对，你也可以拿这一句话来骂一个人没常识。比如我刚出社会的时候，不怎么会用电邮。
Oh, so it's an email problem. Was it one of those situations where you accidentally CC'd all where it was supposed to be a private message?
没错，那时候老板就跟我说：“你没吃过猪肉，也见过猪跑吧？连发个电邮都不会。”
So you should know it. I like that one. So in today's idioms, the pigs aren't lazy or fat, but we do have several other characteristics. Let's review the idioms. What was the first one?
第一个我们说的是人怕出名，猪怕肥。
The pig is afraid to be fat. So if somebody is too famous, they would probably lead to a lot of trouble. So the pig's fat, then he would be eaten. So that's not a good thing. What about the second idiom?
扮猪吃老虎。
So we have this person pretending to be a cute pig, but actually trying to be a hunter, achieving a goal. And the third idiom?
第三个是没吃过猪肉，也见过猪跑。
describing a person that at least should have some common sense. Or you could have the reverse idiom, saying somebody does not have any common sense. Now, these idioms are a little bit complicated, but hopefully you've learned a bit about Chinese culture. If you know any other idioms with the word 猪 or pig, please leave them down below. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Joy.
I'm Josh.
See you next time. Bye bye.
下次见。
Introducing Chinese Pod Recap, the app with fast summary lessons. How much time do you have? Join us in the beta program. For more info, go to ChinesePod.com/recap.